What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Chevalier, where as always, we're here to help men and women find happy and healthy relationships. And like always, it don't matter whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, South American, or even the penguins in Antarctica, because you know it's 100 degrees outside, and I know they kind of hot. Speaking of hot, the hot topic for today is discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. D.I.M.E. Had a discussion with a nice, beautiful, intelligent young lady about a week or two ago, and in our Facebook group, she made a comment saying that there are 3 to 5% of available good men. And like always, like most guys, I was kind of thrown off by that comment. But then I took the time to think about why would this young lady say such a thing. And the number one thing that I took the time to think about is maybe the number one reason why it's so difficult for a lot of women to find the type of men they say are good men, because there's really no criteria for judging a good man. Obviously, we hear this word very often. The consideration is, what is a good man and how do you define him? Like anything else in life, there are measurements. That's why in school we have GPAs. Why? Because we want to measure the students who are academically excelling, and we want to measure the students who are most help needed. Why is this important? It's important because we know the children who are good and they're cool, we don't need to bother them, let them be by themselves, and then we can focus on the ones that need help and help bring them along so they can succeed and excel as well. Dating is no different. Same aspect. If you have a measuring criteria for the type of men that you want to meet, then it's better to assess what you consider a good man or a man that's not to your standards. Because every woman has a different idea of what a good man is. Maria may think a good man is based on consistency. Mylene may say a good man is a good man who works over 60 hours a week. Keisha may say a good man is a guy that dresses well. Sarah may say a good man is a man who wears a certain cologne. But my point is, every woman has a different criteria for what's a good man. So in the dating market, it becomes difficult for a lot of women because they have no clue, how do I consider, how do I put myself in a position to meet the type of guys that I say I'm looking for. The number one way I always say to decide or to measure the good man that you say you're looking for is to follow what I consider a very simple process, which is D.I.M.E. Discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. Discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. D.I.M.E. Now, I think I did a video about D.I.M.E. a while ago, maybe like a year or two ago. But I wanted to elaborate because I thought that obviously with new education comes new ideas, comes new thoughts, but comes a new perspective. And I always start with discipline, because you can't have integrity, morals, and ethics with no discipline. Discipline sets the stage for what most people say they want in the relationship they're looking for. And a person who's disciplined is a man who's going to be consistent with you. He's going to dress his age or age appropriate, meaning you shouldn't be, wearing your pants below your waist and then say you're looking for a woman who you want to be your wife, who's going to love and cherish you. Just like men have a standards for appearance, women also have a standard for appearance. So I tell older gentlemen, 30 years old and older especially, that if you want to meet women of a certain class, you have to dress and act in a certain manner. Because I know we live in a society where a lot of people think that looks shouldn't matter, but unfortunately, looks definitely matter. This is why women go out and dress in certain provocative manners, because they think that based on that appearance, the type of men they want are going to find that appealing. But unfortunately, what a lot of those women don't understand is the appeal is not for them. The appeal is for sex. Because a lot of guys see women dressing in provocateur manners and they say, oh, well, because she's dressing in a certain way, I know sex with her is probably going to be a lot easier than with a woman who's dressing in a dignified, manner. And I think that's the misunderstanding that a lot of women have when it comes to the discipline aspect. Dressing in a provocative manner doesn't make guys want you more. It makes guys want you less for a relationship. It makes them want you more for sex. So on both sides of the table, men and women dress accordingly and appropriately to the type of person they want to meet. And then finding the person you're looking for becomes much easier. Someone who's disciplined is consistent. He or she are going to call you every day. He's going to reach out to you, whether it's text, whether it's talk, whether it's video chatting, whether it's, sending you a letter through the U.S. postal mail. But you're going to hear from him on a consistent basis, because men who are consistent are usually men who are, and for lack of better words, disciplined. These are guys who you're going to hear from every morning at between 8 and 9. You're going to hear from who's going to ask you out at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. Integrity. Men who have integrity are generally men who are not going to cheat on you. These are the men who are going to put you first, who are going to make you number one priority, who's never going to take money away from your relationship to give it to another woman, who's never going to take time away from his kids to give to someone else's kids, who's never going to take your time that's meant for you and spend that time with another woman. A man who has integrity is going to do the right thing by making sure that because you are the number one priority, that everything that he does from a financial standpoint all the way down to a romantic standpoint, it's going to be all about making sure that you're appreciated to the point where building a relationship becomes that much more of a value. Morals. Men who are morals will not disrespect you, but they will hold you accountable. Now, calling women B's and H's and all that, I don't agree with that. But we will hold our women accountable by not letting them treat or talk to us in any kind of way. And in a way, a lot of modern women see that when a guy speaks up for himself or he speaks in an aggressive manner, that he's not respecting women. And I think, unfortunately and sadly, the times we live in, a lot of women feel that if a man speaks up, he's doing women wrong. And it's like, no. Just like women have to hold men accountable, men have to hold women accountable. Because I can tell you, before I got married, that being nice to certain women, they just see you as a free lunch, somebody to take advantage of. Oh, he's a nice guy. Maybe he wants to treat me right because I'm not used to it. And some women do say that. But unfortunately and sadly, there's a percentage of women who say, oh, nice guy, let me take advantage of him. A guy who's moral holds you accountable, as you should be held accountable, because accountability is the value that keeps relationships together. And ethics. Ethics is simple. Treat people the way you want to be treated and hold them accountable. Meaning, if someone talks to you a certain type of way and you don't value the way they're talking to you, then challenge them. And then once you challenge them, correct them and show them a way that's better. Hey, you don't have to yell at me. If you want something, just ask. And if I don't do it, then let's sit down and talk about where the miscommunication was. But talking to people the way you want them to talk to you is just respectful, but it's just right. Often women talk about there are no good men. Well, we got to set the standard for women who want good men so that everybody's on the same page. Discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. Treat people the way you want to be treated, hold them accountable, and make sure that we're doing right by others as we expect to do right by us. As always, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Love you. Peace. We are gone.